Before we get into today's video, I would like to offer our thoughts and prayers, as well as our condolences, to everyone affected by the tragedy in Tumbler Ridge, British Columbia.
Can they take the lead on this drive?
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Canadian Football Central's hip-hop content for the fans, by the fans. And we got another signing here for the Hamilton Tiger Cats as they make an addition to their offensive line as Trevor Reid signs as he was the former Riders left tackle. He went up to the NFL, it appears, and kind of had a little bit of a stint up there. I just kind of want to pull up his page here. I don't know why I don't have it up. I usually have this sort of stuff up, but initially, Rick.
You know what though? One thing that I will give Ticats credit for today. A couple of things.
Also, I believe it's
One,
a 2-year deal, unless the title says otherwise.
That's no. It's a 2-year deal. So that's one of the things is out of the 4 players that we did not know about, 3 of them got 2-year deals. Mario Alford one, which recorded earlier. I do not know what the terms are on that one. But the other thing that I was really happy with is the Ticats kept a lot of these signings close to the chest. Like I will be honest with you, I did not see these signings today that were not already announced during the tampering window.
Yeah, they kind of came out of nowhere.
But you know what? That's what a free agency is all about. Like even you said to me earlier today, there's a player that your team signed that we'll discuss later, and even he caught you off guard.
Yeah, no, that caught me out of left field. No, so
but
even
you know what though, I'm kind of happy. So depending on where you read, some people say he's 6'6", 312. Some say 6'5", 307. Either way, he replaces Brendan Bordner and Jordan Murray on that left side. He has, I will take 2 years of CFL experience and a year in the NFL over a 2-year rookie any day of the week.
Well, and that's the thing. Like, because if you kind of look at this past now, Football Database actually doesn't actually have his NFL stuff in there for some reason. However, as mentioned in the article by the 3 Down staff, he had signed a reserve futures contract with the Minnesota Vikings in January 2025 after being released by the Riders. This was released to pursue NFL opportunities. Played very, very well for the Riders in 2024. He was waived by the Vikings on April 22nd with a non-football injury designation and has been a free agent ever since. The Riders retained his CFL rights through February 10th, which is when it had expired. He was actually recently drafted to the UFL, but it was one of those things where I think he just saw a better future in the CFL, and so he's decided to come north to the CFL. Trevor Reid is he's originally from Griffin, Georgia, went to school in Louisville. He had played for the Louisville Cardinals in the ACC, did kind of decent over there. And that was kind of what allowed him to kind of get this opportunity. But it was one of those things he did very, very well with Saskatchewan. He's going to be coming over, 2-year deal. Good to kind of get some stability in there. As I think for something like an offensive line where bonding as a unit is really, really important. Having a guy stick around for multiple seasons, I think seriously helps. But yeah, because it says like even through the, it's funny, it has some 6'5" on 3 Down Nation as well as CFL website. However, 3 Down Nation says he's 307 pounds, and it says he's 5 pounds heavier on the CFL website. Who gives a shit? But fun fact.
So I'm just gonna mention this. So I'm quoting Steve Milton, who is the Ticat Audio Network article writer for the website. I'm just some quotes that he got from Trevor Reid. He said that he's going to that Trevor Reid said it was an opportunity I couldn't turn down. It has great staff. Fans are great. It's a good city and a good environment. But here is the thing that caught me off guard. And I had mentioned this to you earlier.
Yeah.
So when he left Regina to sign a reserve and future contracts with the Minnesota, the NFL, but was waived last April. Like many other Americans, he wanted to see what the new UFL had in mind. Was selected by the Dallas Renegades last month on the second day of the UFL, and I quote: "It was starting to it was just starting and seemed a bit disorganized, so I thought I would come back to the CFL and to Hamilton." Told Ticats.ca. I like what I see from the offense here. Kenny Lawler and Bully Vi Mitchell? Question mark. Oh man, there's a lot of depth and ability on the line, which she goes on to mention about Quinton Barrow, who's the right tackle. He's a great guy, and it's going to be a great fit for me knowing that I have veteran guys that I can look up to, and I think I have the right tools to get adjusted. So already right there, um, it had mentioned that, um, and then he also goes on to mention about how he started with military. He played on the military college team
Yeah.
in Georgia, and then that set him like on the right path. And then he transferred to Louisville,
Yeah.
and then they said his athleticism is rare. So already, like he's already um, putting in the work. He has a veteran. You have Revenberg, Kolinkowski, Liam Dobson already a good interior line. Quentin Barrow has had a few years under his belt. If I am correct, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, Trevor Reid's 25, Quentin Barrow's 25, Kolinkowski's 32, Revenberg's 33, and Liam Dobson's 27. So it's not like we have a good age
Yeah.
for our offensive line. It's not like, we have three people in their late 50s, late seven or
Late
late
50s.
30s that are about to retire. No, everyone's good age. Everyone's going to be
Thank God you don't
tight
have
knit
anyone in
group.
their late 50s, Rick.
And the other thing that I was going to mention, and I'm going to bring this up only because you brought me onto this website,
Yeah.
is with Saskatchewan. They were tied for second
Are you
in.
looking at 2024? Keeping that in mind when he
I'm
played there?
actually looking at. I thought he played in 2025
Nope, because that's
in the
when he was with the
CFL.
Vikings. No, but even then, he'd still like Ryder's offensive line that year had done relatively well. So if we look at the 2024 stats, they had
Okay,
given
hold
up
on. Give me one
that
second.
that Ryder's D line because you can change the year on Football Database.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for
Um,
this
but
to change.
I might, you know what I might do? I might end up making a video on like a tutorial on how to use this. But anyways, on for Saskatchewan, that year that Trevor Reid had been there, they gave up 35
They're
sacks,
fourth.
which would put them at fourth exactly. Hamilton had 30, Calgary had 29, and the Elks that year was the best in the league. They had 28 given up, only 28 sacks given up. So they were kind of
With
on the upper side of things. Keep in mind the worst in the league that year was BC. They'd given up 43 sacks that year. And then even if you look at their sack yards lost, they were kind of in the middle. They gave up 223 yards from their sacks. That put them right dead center. They were fifth in the league, so right in the middle. You know what I mean? And so it was one of those things where it was kind of a generally not too bad offensive line, but he himself did very, very good, which is why he got the opportunity with the Vikings. And now he's back down in the CFL, and he's over in the Hamilton. He's over
I
in
wouldn't
the
say
Hamilton.
he's as good as Broxton is. Like Broxton is
Probably not.
one of the top offense tackles. I would say Trevor Reid is going to be one of the
Yeah.
best offense tackles. He probably won't be the best, but I mean
I mean, who gives a
with
shit? At the end of the day, he needs to do his job, and I think he'll do it. You know what I mean?
no, but
That's where I would be.
where I was getting at is even if we were fourth in
Yeah.
sacks last year, like fourth best. We're going to be in the top four again this year, even with Trevor Reid. Just going to make our offensive line that much better than what we
Yeah.
were last year.
No.
That's all I was getting at.
Yeah. No. Honestly, I think it's looking pretty good for him and pretty good for the Ticats. So, anything else you got there, Rick?
No, sir.
All right. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this video. Make sure you guys leave a like, share it around, and subscribe if you haven't already. Also, if you guys haven't, make sure you guys join our Discord. Link in the description below to our Discord where we discuss all things CFL, NHL, all sorts of sports stuff. And make sure you guys go there and keep the conversation going. And yeah, we'll see you guys next time.
Touchdown, Bucks!